Hello there, everyone. TheAndrata here, and welcome back to episode 19 of our All the Mod 7 Season 2 Let's Play series. Yes, we are back. My studio is put back together. Everything seems to be working. If you notice any weirdness in audio or anything, please let me know in the comments, because since I unplugged everything and plugged it back in, some settings got reset. So some of this is going off of memory of where I had things at. So hopefully everything is back to normal. Sounds good. May require a little bit of tweaking here over the next couple episodes and days as we go through. But we should be good to go to keep cranking out the content and having some fun. So let's get started. We're doing refined storage today. Welcome back, my friends, to another wonderful day here in the world of TheAndrata, where we're back, as you can see, obviously, because you're here watching this video. Hopefully you are, and I'm not just talking into the void and getting no response and, existential crisis. Anyway, today we are back. We are playing. Our world is back. My computer's set up. Everything is working so far. Still working with Enigmatica 6 and seeing where we're going to end up with that. Our friend James, he's on the Discord. He's on the Enigmatica 6 development team. He's helping put together a list of things that I had done since my last backup, going back through my footage, helping me out since time is of a issue for me to be able to record. It's hard to or not record, but to be able to go back through and watch and figure out what we all did and all that stuff. It's not going to be the easiest in the world for TheAndrata, so I appreciate the help, absolutely. And then I'll be able to work on those things and bring Enigmatica 6 back hopefully relatively soon, probably a couple weeks or so. We'll have Enigmatica 6 episodes coming back. I like it. I love it. And I want some more of it. So today, let's dive right on in. Last episode, we had left off with our occultism storage, if I remember correctly. We had gone over here, done our occultism storage. We ended up with a tier 2 dimensional storage stabilizer. And then I was working on migrating everything from here to here. But look, it's all gone. It's gone because TheAndrata did the work and I migrated everything over into our dimensional storage. Also went ahead and made ourselves our storage accessor so we can access our storage remotely, and bam, there we go. We have all of our stuff remotely accessible, any dimension, anywhere in the world, anywhere on the planet, anywhere in the universe. If there's other planets in this, I don't know if we have any mods that are multi-planetary, where we can, travel to the moon and stuff, but we'd have access to all of our occultism storage, which is great. Caveat with this being, we don't have access to our storage here for our inventory connector. However, I'm curious to know what happens if I put a wormhole on there. I made a couple extra wormholes too, as you can see, but like if I throw a wormhole on there, yeah. Yeah. I have access to everything. It kind of seems a little weird, but like, let's look at something that's only in this. Stone, 768 stone. No. Yes, there it is. Okay. So by throwing that wormhole on there, I have now bridged the two, so I have access to everything. So our storage accessor, though great, I'm going to use our advanced wireless terminal right for the moment and deal with this still, because now I have access to everything again from one inventory, but we no longer need our chests and everything. Today, what we are working on is refined storage. We're getting refined storage up. I'm bridging the gaps between these permanently with refined storage. Then we're going to start working on migrating all this stuff down into our basement. Did we talk about our basement? I don't remember if we ever mentioned our basement. I think I did, but let's pop down into our basement again. Anyway, this is our basement. We have all our stuff. All my compacting drawers are down here. Our storage controller is sitting here, and I love the new storage controller from Functional Storage by I believe it's Booze. Same guy who does Industrial Foregoing, by the way. Because it doesn't have to be touching. We can wirelessly connect, which is kind of convenient. It's very weird, though, these drawers. I don't know what the lighting issue is going on here, but some of the drawers are taking on lighting extremely weird. As I added on new drawers, they darken. So, like, look, this one, I mean, this is what it should look like. This is dark. This is darker. This is darkest. And it's the same here. Darkest, darker, dark, and then not as dark. The texture is taking on some lighting effects weirdly. I don't know if it's a conflict between functional storage here and Torchmaster for the Feral Flare Lantern, but something funky is going on here. But anyway, we're going to get stuff set up. We're going to move stuff down here, and then we're going to, we're going to do the thing that we generally tend to do. It's easier to go down than it is to go up. And that's just the way that the cookie crumbles. So let's start. First things first, we are going to need to get ourselves our controller. That is the brain of our refined storage network. So let's go ahead and do that. I have already pre-processed a bunch of stuff. So let's talk about the things that we have, because you can see I have my controller ready to go. So let's look at it. The controller is going to require quartz enriched iron. Quartz enriched iron, easy peasy. Iron ingots and nether quartz. Is there cheaper recipes? There is. The AE2, which is kind of funny that the AE2 can help me make quartz enriched iron. The matter infuser takes 2 iron into a nether quartz, but also takes 20 ticks. Actually, that's not that bad. That's 1 second. Literally does this in 1 second. That's not terrible. And we can get quartz enriched iron B, which will do it as well. Okay, so we do have a slightly cheaper recipe. We can cut our cost in a third and be good to go. However, oh yeah, that's 2 to 4, so that's actually not that bad. We are cutting our cost into a third. Anyway, quartz enriched iron. We also need silicon, which silicon is nether quartz smelted up. So I just smelted up a bunch of that stuff. That's the only way to get it. Perfect. Okay. And then we need our advanced processors. Our advanced processors are made with our raw processors. If we take a look at refined and we look at raw, there are 3 different types. We have our basic, our improved, and our advanced. Basic is this recipe here: iron ingot, redstone dust, some silicon, and a processor binding, in which processor binding is any sort of slime and then some sort of string. And you get 8 of those per craft. So we need those. We need these, which is gold ingots, and then we need this, which is diamonds, all of which we have plenty of. So I went ahead and made a bunch of those. We have advanced processors. Let's do processors. I made a stack of these, half a stack of these, and a quarter stack of the advanced. And I've used some of the basics because we've used them for other minor crafting in between, like our machine casing here. Well, that just requires quartz enriched iron, but there's other things that have used it. So let's grab our controller, bam, and let's check out, do we have a refined storage quest line? Yes. Okay, I got a controller. It's going to give me a random reward. Okay. Just want to make sure that we're going to complete the quests. I do definitely want the wrench, so I'm going to add that. It's one of the best wrenches in the game because it works on more than just refined storage's blocks. And let's go. Okay. So that's our controller. This is the brains of our operation. It's going to be what controls, well, everything. It's the brain. Does all the work for us. So we're going to set this up here, and then we're going to attach things to it as we go. We also are going to need to get power to this. Do I have a flux point? I do. So let's go ahead and just plop a flux point on the bottom of this. Bam. And this is going to be called on our output network. Can I write? Yes. And this is refined controller. And we'll bypass the limit. I don't think we're going to end up using 800,000 RF per tick to keep our controller going, but it can get expensive sometimes for refined storage, especially when we get like dimensional storage and all that stuff. So yeah, we'll do it. As you can see, we're also planning on going to the end and fighting the Ender Dragon soon. Okay, so that takes care of our controller. Bam. Next thing that we're going to need is some way to access items that we put into our refined storage. Refined storage is like a big, I guess you could say it's a computer storage system it's a digital storage system for all of our items. Very similar to Tom's Simple Storage here, or even technically Occultism, even though that's a magical storage system. It's still storing items in NBT data, basically, is all it's doing. And I guess that's technically what chests do too, but whatever. All right, semantics. In order to do so, though, we're going to need to make ourselves a grid. The grid is the bare minimum that you're going to need for this. You need 1 grid. I always recommend upgrading because if you just have a grid, you can access your items. You can't do anything with your items. If you upgrade to a crafting grid or a pattern grid, well, crafting grid specifically, it's in the name, you can craft, and then patterns allow us to automate certain things. That allows us to get auto crafting going, which is my favorite part of refined storage. I love auto crafting because it makes my life so much easier. So let's go ahead and see what we need for this. Okay, so this is our grid: glass, Destruction core, improved processor, quartz enriched iron, machine case. Construction core is basic processor with glowstone dust, and a destruction core is a basic processor with nether quartz. Okay, fairly simple. Let's grab our grid, throw that into the system, and we're actually going to want 2 of these. I think I cooked up enough stuff for 2. Yes. Okay, so there's 2 grids. Done. We're also going to need to get ourselves our crafting grid, which is going to require a crafting table in the system. We're going to want our pattern grid, which is going to require us to have 1 pattern made, which is just some glass, some redstone, and quartz enriched iron. Patterns are what allow you to do the auto crafting, so we definitely want those. So we're going to grab our crafting grid, and we're going to grab our pattern grid. There should have been another grid in the system. Yeah, why are you being weird? Go. Pattern grid. Okay. So that's our 2 grids. This is how we can access our items and then control our auto crafting, okay? When we're going to set these up top, we're going to run some cables. It's going to be a nice big mess and everything, but we'll make it work. Okay, so that takes care of our pattern grid. We're also going to need what is known as an external storage because our items are stored externally, right? They're not in refined storage. We have our items in our drawers here. We also have our items in our occultism setup. So we need to get external storages in order to access said items through refined storage. And that's the whole point of us making this, is so that we can bridge the gap between the two, access it in one inventory, and use auto crafting. Okay, that's the big thing, the auto crafting. Let's just go ahead and get, a good decent amount of cables because we're going to need them. And we're going to go ahead and use external storage and external storage. And apparently I have no chests. There we go. And bam. 2 external storages. And that's some cables. And I guess last but not least, we're going to want a crafter, which is going to require all this stuff. And we'll immediately upgrade that to iron because it's better, holds more slots, does better things for us. I got to go turn those off again, apparently. All right. You know what? Actually, I think I left them on only for the epic achievements because they sound, it is cool. The sound is cool, but I don't want it all the time. Okay. That's how we're at. All right, let's check it out and see. And I didn't pick up the crafter, so I bet you I don't get quest credit for that. And I didn't pick up the pattern either. Well, that's okay. We're going to need more of each. This is pack update day, by the way. We are running 0.4.29 is the pack version, with just some updates overall for all the mods and everything like that. However, still haven't, the JEI thing has still not been fixed, so what are we going to do about it? And then we need a crafter. I'm here for the quest rewards, of course. I love the quest rewards. And it's not like we're not going to use the crafter. I'll just go ahead and just immediately convert this over to an iron one because why not? And that gets that quest done. Gold crafter, I would jump to this, but that requires neural processors, which requires me to, it's really not that expensive, but I'd have to make more raw processors of the advanced and the improved, and I don't have the raw ones. I have the cooked ones, so I'm not too concerned about it right now. Okay, the last thing that I want to look at making here before we get all of this set up is probably going to be our wireless crafting grid, because I want to be able to access all of our stuff wirelessly, right? I don't want to have to come to our crafting grid every time I want to access anything. I want to do it wirelessly, and then I really wouldn't even have to run cables up top and set up a centralized location. I could leave everything down here in the basement, which would be kind of nice, because running cables is, it don't look good. It's ugly, okay? Let's do machine casing. Hopefully I have enough quartz enriched iron. I don't know how much I made. I think I made like 3 stacks of this stuff. So we're going to need a crafting grid. Oh, we need our grid itself first. Then we need a crafting table. Then another crafting grid. Then we need to make it a wireless crafting grid, which we should be able to do. And bam. And another quest. Let's get that charging. Okay, does this go in my curio slot? It can. Perfect. And it can go into any slot, which is great. First thing I need to do, options, controls, keybinds. You want to change your keybinds for refined. That needs to be set to open wireless crafting grid is tab. Okay, that's what I want. Open wireless crafting grid is tab. Let's see what else is using tab. List players, we're not on multiplayer, don't care. Crafting tweaks, I refill my last stack, I don't need that. Next terminal tab, nope. Previous, nope, we're not using integrated terminals. Sure, we can try and leave that, see what happens. But we need to bind this first. We actually need to go do this. Bam, shift right click on there so it can be linked. And there we go. Now, if I press tab, nothing happens. Well, what the heck, Andrata? You just made this thing. You what did you do? You did it wrong? Yeah, we did it wrong. Okay, I forgot a step. We also need our wireless transmitter, which is this guy here. Not too difficult. As long as we have the machine or the quartz enriched iron, we need the wireless transmitter. And this guy can just plop right here. Now, if I press tab, I can access my refined storage system. But our refined storage system is nothing. We have nothing to it. Also, why aren't you getting power? Yeah, why are we draining power? This is a flux point, right? It should be getting power. This is draining. What go on? What go on? Yeah, what the heck? You're generating, you're producing power. You have power in you. Do I not have a flux point for the output network? Wait, what? It's been so... I haven't played so long, I don't remember where I set things up. Yeah, wait, here we go. Yeah, and this is getting an input of 1600 RF. Limits bypassed. I don't understand. Our basic energy cube, what's your output? Max output's 1.6 thousand. We're capping out my our miners, sucking up all our power. Okay. Looks like we're gonna need to upgrade our energy cube, but I need to throttle this. It's taking all the power into this. So let's set this to like 800. We'll have it. That gives us 800 to work with at home. And then we need to get ourselves an advanced energy cube and upgrade that bad boy, which shouldn't really be terribly too difficult. Yeah. Like, and then that gives me I don't know what the input output is on this. I don't think it tells you. Yeah. But it should be higher. I think it's like 14,000 or something like that. Is it equivalent to the universal cables? Is this 1.6? No, that's 3.2. So half. So would it be fair to say that it's going to be about 24,000 or 25,000? Maybe, potentially. I guess we'll find out. Let's go back home. And now we shouldn't have any throttling issues going on down here. Good. Okay, we're back to normal. We got bouncing going on, which I don't like. This is not good for lag and everything like that, but whatever. What are you going to do? I literally can't do anything about that. Anyway, okay, cool. So let's get everything set up. So what we need to do is get our external storage bound, which are these guys here. We need to get ourselves our stable wormhole. So I'm going to go, whatever. I'll take the one that's up here. It doesn't really make too much of a difference. So we'll take a external storage and we need to link it to our stable wormhole. How do we do so? Extremely easily. All we have to do is just set this down somewhere, like here. We're going to move our wireless transmitter. You're going to move that, I don't know, right there for now. We're going to get a cable. Plop that guy there, and then our external storage just needs to point into this. Oh, and I forgot that the wormhole takes up a block space. Buddy. The wormhole is weird because look, it takes up a full block space, but it's actually sitting on the wall. I would hope it would take up a half block space. That would be the ideal, but that's okay. All right, well, guess we'll put the wireless transmitter back, and then we'll just set a cable up here, and now it should be connected to our system. So if I press tab, we see all of our items in here now, which is what we want. Sorting is descending. Let's do JEI synchronized. So is this JEI synchronized work? Yes, it does. Thank the Lord. Thank the maker, whoever you want to thank. It's working. I don't have to deal with having to try and click and close and close and click and all that mess that I had to do before. I don't like this, though. This is quite ugly looking. Not that our whole setup isn't quite ugly looking, but I'm going to put it at least behind this, and we'll move this. We're going to make a whole mess of this whole thing. I guess I'm going to have to do this too, because I'm going to need to get the stone. Okay. Bam, bam, bam. And then I have to do this. And then I have to come back in here. I have to break this. And then we got to do this. Attach that to that block, but nothing's there, so it don't matter. And then I can take my stable wormhole and stick it on there. Now it looks nicer. Bam, I like it. And I should be able to get my stone and clear it up. Looks a little bit better. I'll take it. I'll take it. It's a little better than what it looked like before. And we have access to our stuff, right? Except for this stuff. We need to get access to all this. How are we going to do so? Well, I need to get a external storage hooked up to our storage controller all the way up there. And I'm trying to think of the best way that I want to do this, because it's kind of sort of not in a convenient space, to be honest with you. Now, granted, this can be moved once we get refined storage, and then we get access to all the auto crafting and everything, and the ability to move items with refined storage. We don't necessarily need this. I can export out all of our chunks and all that stuff into our macerator, and I don't have to have this whole pretty pipes mess and then this whole logic system that we have basically going on down here to get everything moved around. This is not going to be necessary. All of this will actually be able to go into our system again. And yeah, but it's going to be a little bit before we can get to that necessarily. So I guess for now, I'm just going to have to run cables to this guy. So let's see. How do I want to do that the best way, though? I generally like to hide the cables. Did I plan for this when I built this? I'm pretty sure I did. I almost always do, except for the sand. Yes, so I can put a cable here, and then I can run that one block up and then go into the center. Okay, so that's what I need to do. For now, I'll go ahead and run it just, not the way I would like to do it. But that way, at least we can get everything hooked up. And then I can see, how things are going to work. I'm also curious to see how this external storage works with refined, and if it has the same issues that the regular storage drawers works, right? The functional storage, and whether it's the same as storage drawers when it comes to refined, because refined has an issue of losing the drawer controller over time, which is very annoying. Freaking stable wormhole, gotta be complicated. All right, it's going to be ugly. I'm sorry. All right. This is known as, what do they call it? What do we call it in the Minecraft world? Dire wire. It is very dire wiry, but I just want to hook it up so we can access all of our stuff again. Maybe? Oh, interesting. It's not working. Can we not hook an external storage up to this storage controller? Or is there a specific face I'm going to have to hook up to? Because it is not working. Well, that's going to be a major bummer. If that's the case, I mean, it's not that big of a deal. All this, technically, I could dump all this into Occultism. We have enough storage. And if we upgrade, we'll have even more. But yeah, why does this not want to work? Can I not hook up to the bottom of this block? That's my question. But look, it's reading no items at all, which is not what you want to see happen when you are connecting to your storage system. Where is the front of this thing? Now we have a whole mess of stuff going on, but we got to figure this out. Okay. Inventory cable connector. Don't care about that. What I need to do, let's hook up to the face, I guess, and see maybe now. Bam. Okay. Functional storage. Am I missing something? Is there something I should be using for this? I don't see anything. I'm going to have to look up and see how can we connect this to refined storage. If we can't connect it to refined storage, that is quite a bummer, actually. Okay, let's see. maybe I don't know why it would work that way, but maybe what if I connect it to just one of the drawers instead? Do I have enough cables to do so? Like, let's connect it to this drawer. This is diamonds, right? So if I end up seeing emeralds in the system, then I know that that worked that way. Okay. So diamonds, but no emeralds. Okay, so it works connecting each drawer. That is a major, like, issue, to be honest with you. Like, I do not like that one bit, Sam I am. This is a green eggs and ham situation that we got going on here. This is not going to work for TheAndrata, and I'm going to have to figure something out. Again, like I said, I can dump all this in there, but I don't think our occultism is going to be able to hold all of this at the moment, especially not with our copper. Well, actually, we only have 729 copper at the moment. But I like being able to compact. I'm not a fan of what's going on right now. We're going to have to figure this out. I'm going to have to look into this in between episodes and see what options that we are going to have with this whole setup. But ultimately, right now, we are good to go. We have our crafting grid set up. We have our wireless crafting grid, so we can access our occultism stuff at the moment. We need to bridge the gap somehow. I'm going to go ahead and throw this advanced wireless terminal in there. Bam, I don't need it. What I do want to get is range upgrades. From Refined, so that way we can access our stuff even farther away. I'm going to work on getting our energy cube upgraded as well. That should not be too difficult at all once I have access to all this stuff again. And yeah, this can go into our backpack, sort of right there. And basically, yeah, we're kind of stuck with all this stuff. At the moment, there's not much I can do with all this extra stuff. Our iron crafters, I can go ahead and place down. The iron crafters, when you just have them like this, they don't do anything. They're just going to chill out here. And then we can fill them with patterns. They're linked up. They just have to be touching any refined storage block. And then we can put our patterns in there and do auto crafting. The first pattern that TheAndrata always does is the pattern for crafting more patterns. So if I take my pattern grid, plop it down here, I make a pattern because I'm going to need a manual one, which I don't know if I'm going to, not manual. Pattern. I have one. If I take this, we put it in here, and I say, hey, buddy, learn how to make patterns. Just like this. The first pattern is for more patterns. And I don't need exact mode to be on. We can turn that off. That way, if there's a different type of glass or different type of redstone for whatever reason, we can access it. So I put my pattern in here, and then now I come over here and I search for patterns. Now it says craft. So if I say I want a pattern, I can. I'm out of redstone dust, though. Also, those are showing up very weird. Oh, now they're down there. They're still down there. Now they're up there. Whatever. I do have redstone right there. Can't access it. So we got to bridge this gap somehow. But I will work on that in between episodes here. So anyway, that's it for today's episode. If you enjoyed, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe. Thank you all for your patience with this whole situation I've had going on with the freaking flood in my, it's not a flood, but it was quite a lot of water and mold and everything. So it was the Great Flood of 22 in the TheAndrata studio. Okay, that's what we're going to call it. So the Great Flood, my hand is still messed up. I have an appointment this Wednesday to try and see what else I need to do with this because it's not getting better. So I can't bend my finger at all, very minimally. So there's something definitely messed up there that they're going to have to take a look at and deeper, get an ultrasound or something to kind of see what's going on in there. But anyway, that's neither here nor there at the moment. We're talking Minecraft. Thank you guys for being here for me, supporting me, sticking around. I love you all. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Have a good one.